Hi there. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Vignesh. I'm a product manager with BrowserStack, and I'm here to talk to you about something that I'm very passionate about and I've been focusing on for the past few years at BrowserStack, which is how can you cut through the noise, right, and test better, test smarter with better analytics. I'd like to start with what I believe is something that we're on the precipice of and is happening already in many organizations. Testing is exploding. What do I mean by this? As your automation maturity grows, the volume of your test execution is going to increase exponentially. For some people, it's already happening, right? How does this happen? Firstly, there are more types of testing than ever, which are becoming necessary. It's a necessity to now have accessibility tests. It's a necessity to have API tests. And this is over and above your functional tests, right? And this is only going to grow. The requirement to provide better quality software, best-in-class customer experience is always going to drive up the need to have more tests, more robust tests and better tests, and tests running at a higher frequency. And with the onset of AI, better tooling, it's also going to be easy to create those tests and run them as well at scale. So just to illustrate, like, for example, what's happening with sort of the upper echelons of testing today, but is quickly coming to the entire spectrum. The larger your product, the more this in fact impacts you. Like accessibility tests, right? If you have hundreds of pages, they're going to require scanning on both the mobile and the desktop layout. So that's number of pages into two. API tests, again, tons of internal and external APIs, right? It requires rich reporting as well. You simply cannot look at the pass and fail. You've got to look at the performance. You've got to look at the data. It's pretty intricate. Functional and UI tests, all organizations are actually aiming for more sort of flows covered and multiply the number of those flows you've covered by the device combinations, right? You want to ensure that it works on iPhone, Galaxy S22. You want to ensure that it works on a very specific version of Android that you know that your customer base uses. And even like visual testing, you want pixel perfect deploys. So hundreds of pages that require scanning on different resolutions, different layouts. And what this really comes down to is, can you answer this question? How often have you looked at your automation test results and been able to answer this question of, can we ship? Is my software good to go? Does that single pass or fail result mean anything to you? And when we spoke to our customers, we spoke to hundreds of customers and surveyed them, 60% of SDETs feel that existing reporting and analytics solutions that they have are simply not good enough to take go-no decisions. Now, what does this mean? It means that you cannot trust your automation test results to tell you if you can press the button and send your code to production. And that's it's really self-defeating, right, of what your automation tests are designed to do. And now you can imagine with this explosion of test data, test run data, there is now even more noise in whatever was already limited signal. And when we looked at like inside BrowserStack, right, our own internal challenge, the BrowserStack quality engineering team, they spent around 2 hours a day reviewing results for our 7,000 plus test regression suite. This has actually grown in recent times, right? We've also been sort of pushing the number of tests, the number of types of tests, and this delays production deployments in BrowserStack. The reason it delays is because we are a mission critical product. We consider ourselves mission critical in the sense that if our test platform is not up and giving our customers perfect results, perfect experience, then there's a trickle down effect of production bugs reaching the customer. Now, we cannot afford to skip reviewing tests, so we have to go through manually. And we also understand, that almost every single one of our customers, and this is a universal truth, if you skip the way that you review, or if you run fewer tests just to save a bit of time, you're gonna have an impact somewhere if that one little bug creeps in. And it depends on where it creeps in. That's gonna cost either $100 or $100,000, but it's gonna have an impact. So what is the need here? The need is not to find a way to skip tests. The need is to reduce the time you spend on test result analysis, basically accelerate the test failure analysis process. And our internal solution was we developed a smart test reporting solution that drastically reduced the test report analysis time. So our QAs could sort of look at one report and take that go, no go decision. But as we spoke to more and more customers, running hundreds and thousands of tests at parallel, we realized the sort of the broader potential. And that's what led to the creation of our test reporting and analytics products, which I will show you shortly. But just to illustrate, like what will happen if you do not solve this problem right now? And this is real customer data. We've sort of normalized it. Uh, let's assume that, on average, you have around 10,000 monthly test failures. The assumption is you're going to have to debug those, right? You're going to have to look at them, at least, even if you're not debugging and trying to find a root cause, you're definitely looking at the result to ensure that is this a failure that I should look at or not? What BrowserStack test reporting and analytics does is it helps you cut down the number of test failures that you actually need to look at. And this is what we're trying to illustrate here. Firstly, there are tests that are just simply stale. They're always failing. You can sort of ignore those, but again, how do you do that? In many organizations, that knowledge is tribal. The people that are looking at the reports day in, day out simply know. And they use that to sort of vibe their way through saying, yeah, we can discard this, but is that really the right way to do it? Do you actually have visibility on if this is always failing or not is a question that many people don't have an answer to. So test reporting analytics, the solution that we offer, is able to identify those always failing tests for you. Second, once you've discarded those, a number of your tests are naturally going to be flaky, meaning either the result can't be trusted, or it's still in development, or you rerun it and it's going to pass. But again, how do you know which ones are flaky and which ones are not? Again, if you try to sort of just eyeball it, there is a chance, just as above with the always failing test, that something's going to leak through to production. You cannot eyeball results. So we also are able to bring in visibility of what the flaky tests are. And then next, and this is where it gets even cooler. The test reporting and analytics solution that BrowserStack offers has AI RCA features. And what this means is as you test, you are able to teach the platform how to debug and basically say, yeah, if this stack trace sort of pops up in this manner, this means that it's an environment issue, it's a locator issue. And the next time that we see such a bug, we will automatically flag it and mark the failure reason for you. So again, that's one or many tests fewer to debug. And the more you use this feature, the more the time you save, because the platform is going to debug things for you. And finally, is unique errors. Now, this is a really interesting phenomenon that we found. The Pareto principle of 80-20 holds true. 80% of tests are failed due to 20% of errors, meaning almost always, one single stack trace is causing large volumes of failures. And it's sort of clear why this happens, right? If there is an upstream sort of API which is down, or an upstream failure, all of the tests associated with that are going to fail sort of in unison. Let's say you're doing sort of cross-browser or cross-device testing, where the same test runs on 10 different devices. All of those tests are going to fail because it's an underlying test. It's an underlying issue that's just spread across all of those. Do you really need to debug all of them? Probably not. So again, you're able to cut down and sort of save on the time. And ultimately, where you started from 10,000 executions, you're able to come down to under 1,000 and easily save over 90% of bandwidth. What BrowserStack Test Reporting and Analytics is able to do is be one of those platforms that brings together everything: best-in-class test reporting, best-in-class test debugging, best-in-class analytics and monitoring, all under one single pane of glass. So your quality engineer can sort of get on with reporting and debugging. Your quality manager can look at the analytics. Your quality leaders can also look at the analytics and sort of really see where the team's creating impact. And in fact, even for development engineering leaders, there are features like Quality Gate and Webhook, which sort of help you automatically analyze a build and plug straight into your CI or your Git tools and say, yeah, this build is run. BrowserStack has analyzed it for me. It's good to go. Let's push the button. You can even use it for production rollbacks and whatnot. And it's all built on this platform, the BrowserStack platform, which gives you unified data for any kind of test automation, right? It could be BrowserStack runs, it could be runs on your local grid, it could be on your own laptop. and it could be for unit, API integration, or UI tests. So we've created like a one-stop shop for all things test reporting analytics, and built some rich workflows on top of it. Ultimately, what we want to do is help you analyze your test failures up to 95% faster, uh, help you boost your automation stability while you're at it, and manage your automation health, and bring visibility across the organization of the work that you're doing. Basically say that, yeah, we are running so many thousand automation tests, we're writing so many thousand automation tests, and here's the impact. Here's how much the quality function has been able to add to the success of this organization. So with that, I will quickly walk through what the experience looks like. Firstly, the build report, which you can see here, it helps you see what's going wrong. I've got 275 tests. I'm able to see how many are flaky, how many are new failures, how many are always failing. I'm able to see how many unique errors were seen. Like, for example, I can see that this particular stack trace impacted 43 tests. And I've got all of these rich widgets that I can simply look at, and everything is interactive. In one click, I can drill down, and then I can see the tests that I'm working with. So let's say I want to go ahead and debug this test. I have all of the different logs associated with this test in one single view, whether it's network logs, video logs, screenshots, no matter what, all in one view, and I can see exactly what's gone wrong. Everything is super integrated with your Git, your CI, without you having to do any work as well. It's automatically just working and out of the box. You can take it one step further with our analytics tool. You can imagine that every single run that you put into this platform is being tagged, categorized, analyzed for you. So you get out of the box dashboards like the following, which tells you how your tests are doing. You can slice and dice everything with filters. You can even sort of apply logical operators. So, you can create that exact granular view that you want. And you can filter by almost any parameter, including any custom parameters that you may want to send to us, right? And in one click, sort of, you can go in and see the entire history of a test, double click, drill down, and then debug. And basically what we've wanted to do is give you that one sort of command center, one source of truth for you to action upon your tests. And I'm really rushing through here, but you can even create your own custom dashboards. So, just like on that concept of a data lake, you can imagine that all your test runs are here, and you can go ahead and simply visually query what's in here. And, let's say you want to create a widget that shows you the stability of your tests. And if you want to do it across a single project and you want to compare two projects, you can do that too. What this really helps you do is build that incredible amount of visibility and also a place to sort of go ahead and drill down from. Lastly, I just want to talk about the quality gate feature. What this helps you do is, in a very, very easy manner, helps you automatically analyze your builds. So let's say you want to set up rules that check for a minimum number of test executions, saying that this build can only pass if at least 100 tests have run. So you can sort of add a sanity check. You can even set up rules like all tests in a particular folder, or tagged with a certain tag, have to pass. So you can go super granular. At the same time, you can also apply these things across projects, across builds, and basically gives you supreme control of what a build is considered pass or fail. And we've got over a dozen sort of rules that you can customize. And this gets even more handy when you can integrate the quality gate status in your CI/CD. So basically, you can override the pass fail status that your framework throws at you and say, no, even if like 10 tests fail, as long as all my P0 tests are passing, I'm good to go. You can plug this into your GitHub so that your PR checks can be automated. There's so much potential, and we offer rich APIs. We offer a webhooks feature, so it's very, very easy to build an interconnected system with this test reporting and analytics platform that we offer. Like I mentioned, it works for any kind of automation test. It doesn't even have to be tests that run on BrowserStack infrastructure. So even if you've got a local grid and you just want to run a bunch of API tests or unit tests and you want to send those results in. So this was a very quick overview of the problem space. I think the message that we want to send really is get ahead of your test results before they get ahead of you. The volume of tests is going to explode, and as you adopt better tooling, better AI sort of based tooling, you're going to be running and writing more tests faster than you'll realize. And at that time, you want to be in sort of control. You want to see the signal and not the noise. So test reporting and analytics is one of the ways that you can do it. And I hope this was interesting, and I hope you learned something today. Thank you.